Hello and welcome to today's episode. In this episode, we will discuss about the meaning of business environment, nature and significance of business environment, and social responsibility of business. I am Dr. Ch05, a specialized in business management and teaching in the Center for Management Studies, Jamia Millia Islamia University, New Delhi. So let us start this episode with the concept of business environment. The term business environment refers to the totality of all relevant forces which are external to and beyond the control of an individual business enterprise and its management. In other words, it refers to all those factors that have a bearing on business. The term business environment has been defined by various authors as follows. According to B.O. Wheeler, business environment refers to the total of all things external to firms and industries which affect their organization and operation. In the words of Arthur M. Weimer, business environment encompasses the climate or set of conditions, economic, social, political, or institutional, in which business operations are conducted. According to William Gluck and Josh, environment contains the external factors that create opportunities and threats to the business. This includes socio-economic conditions, technology, and political conditions. Business environment is characterized by the following features. First, business environment is the aggregate of all the external forces which influences the business. Second, the elements of business environment are closely interrelated and interdependent. Any change in one element may affect the other elements. Number three, the concept of business environment is relative. It may differ from country to country and even region to region. Number four, business environment is largely uncertain because it is very difficult to forecast the future environment. When the environment is volatile, that is, changes very fast, uncertainty increases. Number five, business environment provides the macro framework within which the business firm, a micro unit, operates. The environmental forces are largely the given within which an individual enterprise and its management must function. Business environment plays an important role in almost all enterprises. It is very important for business enterprise to understand its internal environment such as business policy, organization structure, etc. This helps in developing an effective management information system which helps to predict the business environmental changes. It is very important for business firms to understand their environment and changes occurring in it. Business enterprises would be successful if they know their environment and are ready to adapt to environmental changes. On the other hand, firms which fail to adapt to their environmental changes are unlikely to survive in the long run. Knowledge of environmental changes is very helpful in the formulation and implementation of business plans. A business can obtain this knowledge through environmental scanning. Environmental scanning is the process by which organizations monitor their relevant environment to identify opportunities and threats affecting their business. With the help of environmental scanning, an enterprise can consider the impact of different events, trends, issues and expectations on its business operations. The advantages of understanding the environment of a business are as follows. Number 1. Awareness of business environment helps an enterprise to take advantage of early opportunities instead of losing them to competitors. For instance, Maruti Udyog was the first to recognize the need for a small car and became the leader in a small car market. Number 2. Awareness of business environment helps a firm in identifying an early warning signal. It makes a firm aware of the future threat or crisis and prepares it to take timely action to minimize the adverse effects. For instance, Maruti Udyog increased the production of its esteem when new firms entered in the mid-segment cars. That is a threat. Increased production enabled the company to make faster delivery of the cars. As a result, the company captured a substantial share of the market and became a leader in this segment. Number 3. Environmental understanding helps the management to understand the changing needs and expectations of consumers. For example, on the basis of needs and wish of customers, Hindustan Lever and several other companies launched small sachets of shampoo and other products. This move helped the firms to increase sales and thereby satisfying the demands of customers. Number 4. Environmental understanding helps the firm in providing relevant information about the business, which serves as the basis for a strategy formulation. For example, ITC realized that there is an enormous scope for growth in the travel and tourism industry in India, and the government is keen to promote this industry because of its employment potential. With the help of this information, ITC planned new hotels both in India and abroad. Number 5. A business organization, by being sensitive to its environment, can improve its public image. For example, Reliance Industries and ICICI Bank have built good image by being sensitive and responsive to environmental forces. Understanding of environmental forces enables business to be responsive to their environment. Number 6. Environmental analysis helps managers in continuous learning. It keeps them in touch with the changing scenario. With the help of environmental learning, managers can react in an appropriate manner and thereby increase the success of their organizations. Every business enterprise consists of a set of internal factors and is confronted with a set of external factors. Based on this, business environment is classified into two broad types. Number 1, internal environment, and number 2, external environment. Internal environment refers to the factors internal to the firm. In other words, these factors exist within a business organization. The internal factors are called controllable factors because the enterprise has control over these factors. For example, organization structure, policies, programs, personnel, physical facilities and marketing mix. An organization can alter these factors to suit the changes in the environment. However, an enterprise may not sometimes have complete control over all the internal factors. The external environment consists of all those forces and factors operating outside an enterprise. These are known as uncontrollable factors. Since these factors are beyond the control of a firm, examples of external factors are economic factors, socio-cultural factors, political and legal factors, demographic factors, and so on. Now we will discuss each of these factors, both internal and external environment, in detail. As said, the internal environment refers to those factors which exist within the firm. The main internal factors influencing the business decisions are as follows. Value system. The value system of the founders or the culture of the company has an important influence on the choice of business. Mission and objectives, policies and practices of a business organization. The culture or the value system of any organization is an important contributory factor in the success of a business enterprise. For instance, it is the strong value system culture that has contributed to the success of many organizations such as Wipro Corporation and Tata Iron and Steel Company, that is TISCO, Infosys Technology. Mission and objectives. The other important factor influencing the company's decision is mission and objectives. The business domain of the company, priorities, direction of development, business philosophy, business policy, etc. is guided by mission and objectives. For example, the mission of Dhirubhai Ambani to make Reliance the biggest group in the private sector prompted him to launch world-scale plants in petrochemicals and other industries. Similarly, the mission of Ranbaxy to become a research-based international pharmaceutical company has led it to enter foreign markets. Management structure. Management structure is an important factor influencing business decisions. The organizational structure, the composition of the board of directors and the degree of professionalization of management are the important factors affecting business decisions. Internal power relationship. The extent to which the top management enjoys the support from different levels of employees and shareholders have an important bearing on the business decisions. Company image and brand equity. The image and brand equity of the company is important in raising finance, forming joint ventures or new alliances, launching new products, entering foreign markets, etc. Human resources. The skill, quality, competence, morale and motivation of an employee play an important role in the success of the firm. These factors could contribute to the strength and weaknesses of the organization. Some companies may find it difficult to carry out a large-scale modernization and restructuring programs because of resistance by employees. The external environment of business consists of all those factors which are beyond the control of a company. These factors include the economic factors, socio-cultural factors, political factors, legal factors, demographic factors and so on. There are two major components of external environment, micro and macro environment. Microenvironment, also known as task environment, refers to those factors that have a direct bearing on the operations of the firm. It consists of the following elements. Number 1, customers. Customers are those people who buy a firm's products and services. A business exists only because of its customers. A firm may have different types of customers like individuals, households, industries and other commercial establishments, and government and other institutions. In order to be successful, a company must understand and meet the needs and expectations of its customers. A company may choose its customer segment by considering a number of factors including the profitability, stability of demand, growth prospects and the degree of competition. It is often too risky to depend upon a single customer. Due to globalization and liberalization of the economy, customer environment is increasingly becoming global. With the opening up of Indian market and foreign markets, the customer is becoming more exposed to the global competition and is becoming more global in the matter of shopping. Number 2, competitors. A company may have both direct and indirect competitors. Direct competitors are other firms which offer the same or similar products and services. For example, Sony TV faces direct competition from other brands like LG, Samsung, Onida, Videocon, BPL, etc. Indirect competition comes from firms vying for discretionary income. For example, a cinema house faces indirect competition from casino and other firms marketing entertainment. Due to economic liberalization and globalization, Indian companies are now facing competition from both domestic firms and multinational corporations. Number 3, suppliers. Suppliers refer to the people and groups who supply raw materials and components to the company. Reliable sources of supply enable the company to carry on uninterrupted operations and to minimize inventory carrying cost. Suppliers also influence quality levels and cost of manufacturing. It is very risky to depend on a single supplier. A strike or any other production problem of the supplier may cause interruptions in manufacturing. Therefore, it is advisable to develop and sustain multiple sources of supply. For example, Maruti Udyog undertake vendor development to ensure timely and regular supply of materials and parts. Number 4, marketing intermediaries. Several marketing intermediaries help a company in promoting, selling and distributing its products to consumers. Middlemen like agents, wholesalers and retailers serve as a link between the company and its customers. Transportation firms and warehouses assist in the physical distribution of products. Advertising agencies, marketing research agencies and insurance companies are other types of marketing intermediaries. Countrywide retail distribution network has contributed significantly to the success of companies like Hindustan Lever and Dabur India. Number 5, financials. The shareholders, financial institutions, debenture holders and banks provide finance to a company. Financial capacity, policies and attitudes of financiers are important factors for the company. For example, the company cannot raise funds through shares if financiers are not risk-taking. Number 6 point, publics. Publics include all those groups who have an actual or potential interest in the company or who influence the company's ability to achieve its objectives. Media groups, environmentalists, non-government organizations, NGOs and local community are examples of publics. These publics can have both positive and negative impact on a business firm. For example, media groups can be used to disseminate useful information. A company can cooperate with the local people to improve its image as well as to provide some benefit to the people. On the negative side, local community concerned with public health can force a company to suspend operations or to take pollution control measures. Non-government organizations often organize protest against firms suspected of being guilty for child labor, cruelty against animals and damage to nature. For example, one of the leading companies in India was attacked by the media for writing advertisements on rock near a famous hill station. Such activities of publics can tarnish the image of business. Macro environment refers to the general environment within which a business firm and forces in its microenvironment operate. The macro environment is generally more uncontrollable than the micro forces. A company does not directly or regularly interact with the macro environment. Forces in the macro environment, however, create opportunities for and pose threats to the company. The success of an enterprise depends to a great extent on its ability to adapt to the macro environment. Macro environment consists of the following components. Number 1, political and legal environment. Number 2, social and cultural environment. Number 3, economic environment. Number 4, financial environment. Number 5, technological and physical environment. Number 6, natural environment. Number 7, global environment. First, political and legal environment. Political environment consists of the political system, the government policies and attitude towards the business community and the unionism. Legal environment comprises of the set of laws, regulations which influence the business organizations and their operations. It serves as the regulatory framework of business. Every business organization has to obey and work within the framework of the law. However, the main elements of a country's political and legal environment are as follows. Number 1, the constitution of the country. Number 2, organization and philosophy of political parties. Number 3, stability of political parties. Number 4, image of the country and its leaders. Number 5, foreign policy, alignment or non-alignment. Number 6, defense and military policy. Number 7, laws governing business. Number 8, flexibility and adaptability of laws, constitutional amendments and direction of public policies. Number 9, the judicial system, implementation and effectiveness of laws. Number 2, social and cultural environment. Social environment refers to the characteristics of the society in which a business firm exists. Social and cultural environment consists of the following factors. First, demographic forces, size, composition, mobility and geographical dispersal of population. Number 2, social institutions and groups. Number 3, caste structure and family organization. Number 4, education system and literacy rate. Number 5, customs, beliefs, values and lifestyles. Number 6, taste and preferences of people. Third point, economic and financial environment. Economic and financial environment comprises of A, the nature of economic system, that is capitalist, socialist or mixed economy. B, economic structure which includes occupational distribution of labor force, structure of national output, capital formation, investment pattern, composition of trade, balance or imbalance between different sectors. C, economic policies including industrial policy, export-import policy, monetary policy, fiscal policy, etc. D, organization and development of the capital market, which includes banking system, securities markets, etc. E, economics indices, gross national product, per capita income, savings and investment, price level, balance of payment position, etc. F, economic infrastructure. G, product markets and factor markets. Number 4 point, technological and physical environment. The main elements of technological and physical environment are the following. Number 1, rate of technological change. Number 2, approaches to production of goods and services. Number 3, new processes and equipment. Number 4, research and development, that is R&D systems. Number 5 point, natural environment. The main natural factors of the natural environment include climatic conditions, agricultural, commercial and other natural resources. Number 6 point, global environment. The important components of global environment are international agencies such as World Bank, IMF, EEC, etc. International conventions, treaties and agreements and economic and business conditions in other countries. In this section, we will discuss about the impact of different elements of macro environment on business, decision making or strategies. First point, the economic environment consists of economic conditions, economic policies and the economic system. Economic environment exercises most significant influence on the business because business itself is an economic institution. For example, decline in interest rates has reduced the cost of capital for business firms in India. Changes in industrial and fiscal policies have led to the growth of new businesses such as venture capital funds, mutual funds, leasing companies, etc. At the same time, Indian firms have now become more vulnerable to competition from multinational corporations and liberal imports. Number 2, social and cultural factor exercise significant influence on business strategy. The cost of ignoring the customs, traditions, taboos, taste and preferences, etc. of people could be very high. The buying and consumption habits of the people, their language, beliefs and values, customs and traditions, taste and preferences, education are the factors that affect business decision. For example, growing number of working women have increased the demand for lifestyle products. Number 3, the political and legal environment provides the framework within which business has to function. The success of a business firm depends upon its ability for meeting the challenges arising out of political and legal change. A business has to understand the dynamics of the country's political climate if it has to succeed in the market. For example, the supportive political climate made Bangalore and Hyderabad as the hub of information technology firms. Number 4, physical and technological environment are all relevant to business. Physical factors such as geographical factors, weather and climatic conditions may call for modifications in the product in order to adjust with the environment because these environmental factors are uncontrollable. Business prospects depend also on the availability of certain physical facilities such as the demand of LPG gas stoves is affected by the rate of growth of gas connections. Technological factors sometimes pose problems. A firm may not survive if it is not able to cope with technological changes. Technological developments may increase the demand for some existing products. For example, digital watches destroyed business prospects of traditional watches. Information technology and telecommunication have given rise to a global market which requires better system of production. Now, let's take a quick look at what we discussed in this episode. In this episode, we discussed about the concept of business environment, its nature and significance. We also discussed the types of business environment, that is, internal environment and external environment. External environment has two major components. One is micro and the other is macro environment. Micro environmental factors exercise a direct influence on the operations of the enterprise, whereas macro environment refers to the general environment within which a business firm and forces in its micro environment operate. That is all for today. We will learn more about business environment in the next episode. Till then, goodbye.